Welcome back to Adulting 101. This is part 2. If you've not watched part 1, the link will be just down on the description box. But right about now, we want to dive into the financial literacy and whatnot of Adulting 101. Stay tuned.
Adulting comes in with a lot of independence and responsibility. So how easy is it for you to meet the demands of paying bills and running your errands?
Talking about bills, how do you make the right financial decisions for yourself?
Or others that you connect with, be it your friends, colleagues, or loved ones.
As you grow up, navigating life can be difficult, including relationships, and you might be wondering how to handle all this.
This is the show where we talk about the dynamics of adulting and how young adults maneuver through it. Life has no manual. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is Powell Tower and this is Adulting 101.
Good morning, my neighbor. How are you doing? Are you feeling okay?
Welcome back to Adulting 101. I've had an amazing off-air moment with my live audience. And right about now, we want to get into that specific segment where we get to know them. I'll be asking you people questions. Are you ready? Now, there are two categories, all right? There is the life category and there's the general knowledge category. All right, we'll begin with the life category. I will randomly ask whoever has the mic to pick a number between 1 and 4. I will ask you that question and we'll get to know you as a young adult. Choose a number between 1 and 4.
3.
3. If you were to have a company offering insurance, what insurance will you take?
Life insurance, yeah.
Why life insurance?
Because life is precious and I feel it's more expensive than any other thing, like a car or a house. So life.
So once you die, that goes to who? Who's your next of kin?
I see my kids.
Oh, your
My kids.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right. Pass the microphone to anyone you would want. Amazing. Choose a number between 1 and 4, and 3 is gone.
1.
1. How much are curtains?
It depends on the quality you're looking for.
Uh-huh.
So it ranges anything from 20 bob, Pale Toy Market, Gikomba, and then you go somewhere into your 12,000s, in the 20,000s, depending on how prestigious your pocket is.
Are you really a young adult? 20,000 on curtains.
Maisha ni
Amazing.
kujipanga.
Amazing.
Yeah.
All right, let's move to the next person. Choose a number between 2 and 4.
4.
4. How long should you take to be financially stable after school?
A maximum of 5 years.
A maximum of 5. Why so?
Because when I'm first employed, I have to start thinking about saving and then investing. You know, with no time, miaka 5 zimeisha.
All right.
Na nikuwe na kamtu pia.
Na ukue na kamutu pia. That's amazing. Now, to the last question of this category. You don't have to choose the number. Give us your top 3 bill priorities. Top 3 bill priorities. How you've prioritized your bills. Number 1, 2, 3. Let's start with number 3. What will that be?
Can I start with number 1?
Okay, let's start with number 1. Let's start with number 1.
Okay, as a young adult, at this point, I barely pay for most of my things, but I'd say what I prioritize is from number 3, I'd say Spotify because I like music.
Spotify, music,
Then beauty products and such things, which is basic, but mi najipenda sana. And then number 1, rent, although I don't pay for it, but I make sure to pay it.
You must
Sitaki
have
kulala
a
nje.
roof over your head. That's amazing. And that is us getting to know our audience. Now let's get to know their minds, their brains, general knowledge. You still have the mic. Choose a number between 1 and 4.
2.
2. Which part of the human body does not move? Which part of the human body does not move?
Let me think.
Wild guess.
I'd say the upper jaw.
The
of
upper
the
jaw,
mouth.
correct.
Yes.
That is correct. That is the answer to that question. The upper jaw does not move. I know you're thinking, you the audience knew it. You the audience knew it. Did you at home know that? You can Google that, by the way. Your upper jaw does not move. Now, let's go back to the first person. Choose a number between 1 and 4. And 2 is gone.
Number 1.
Number 1. What year did Jomo Kenyatta die?
Where?
What year did Jomo Kenyatta die?
Nilikuwa nimezaliwa kweli.
Young adult.
Yeah. I feel like 1990. Sasa mnacheka nini wa?
Yes.
Acha basi nirudie. 1989.
1989.
Yeah.
That will be wrong. Anyone in the audience who would want to try that? Mko sawa? You trust my answer? Young adult, that was 1978.
Allah.
Let me have the third person. Now choose between 3 and 4.
4.
4. What is Thor's hammer called?
Hey, me, I'm not even a boy.
You're not even a boy. No. My director, are these general knowledge questions? Because there is a girl who says she's not a boy. She wouldn't know that. It was set by a girl. The questions were set by a girl.
Okay, can you give me the first letter?
M.
Magnet.
Magnet. Magnet, is that your final answer? Can we lock in magnet? You at home, do you know the name to that hammer? Anyone in the audience? Magnet is not the correct answer. I will leave it open. Go research it. Number 3, right? When did the airing of Tom and Jerry start? When did the airing of Tom and Jerry start?
I'm not going to pretend to know the year. But was it before colored TV?
Yes.
Somewhere that time.
So give me a range.
In the 50s?
That will be incorrect.
I knew that.
The correct answer is 1940. You were just a decade away, and that brings us.
Sunipe points nusu.
Nikupatie points here. Point nusu goes to our lovely audience, and that's the time I had for the trivia. Thank you so much. When we come back, we go straight ahead to the financial part of adulting. We would want to have a conversation about financial literacy, just because it has been one of the highlighted segment part of this talk show today. So when we come back, with me in studio is a young gentleman, an entrepreneur, someone who will give us more on how he has been a young adult surviving in these economic times. Stay tuned.
We have one of our competitors today of today's marathon, Kass FM International. What's your name?
My name is Charles Lagong. In the marathon is very fine. In the starting, in the coming, in the Missouri, in the going in the Jabarbar, in the move in the hill walk, in the going in the Jepteri, in the hill is for yani kajolat kole akotokos nyabain. So when you in the in not Langas, we call in the Ngomwa in Letolia.
Pioneer.
In Kapseret, and then in the swing in the hands, and I use the chest in the bracket, and I lift people. When Glenn was coming in the rest, when I look back, no people, no, and I'm happy. Me going. And rush hours, and when I see my front is to see this arrogant.
And who are you dedicating this race to?
In the dedicated. My wife. In the dedicated, no, I'll the new married now. I have my new wife. Yeah, in the house.
What is the name?
The name she's calling Alice Chepet. Yeah, Lokong.
Very good.
Yeah. Karibu tena, asante sana.
Welcome back to Adulting 101. Now, this is the segment where we talk about money, financial literacy. The meaning of financial literacy is actually the beginning of your relationship with money. So what is this? It's all about investing, saving. So with me in studio is a young man, young adult, actually whose name means money. So without further ado, help me welcome Mr. Arnold Feather in the studio. He is an amazing guy. I've known him as a student leader in the university. So I would want you people to know him how he wants you to know him. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me, Tawa.
Who is Feather? Who is Mr. Feather?
There are very many aspects in which I can describe myself. I don't know which particular one you want me to talk about.
Talk about what you do with money. I see you do a lot of things. You're in the tourism sector. What exactly do you do with money?
One thing, as a young adult, I'm really trying to find a way into making myself get to be financially stable. So when it comes to making money, I try and make money from so many scopes because I don't really have a stable income that I can say gives me money at the end of every month or do something. But aside from class, there are certain things that I do that...
So you're also still a student?
Yeah.
And you don't have one source of income? So how, if you would advise young adults, perhaps the very beginning, for how long have you been handling your own finances?
It's actually been quite some time. I can say it's about 6 years now, ever since I started managing my bills and just going about making money.
And with the increase of the mobile applications and loans, as an entrepreneur, do you feel like these are things the young adults should go for?
Not certainly, because these things have been brought about by the technological advancements that we are having in the contemporary times. And so it's kind of a trap that is set for you as a young person to get into, so that you get money to go and probably make things easy for you. But that is not the money that you actually have had, that which you can use for investments, because just like you said, it's something that you get to access from the app.
Yes.
And the kind of decisions that you're going to make out of that is not really that which is to be in the long run profitable to you. So most of the young people nowadays just want money to probably make things easy for them. People want to buy iPhones, people want to own big cars, people want to probably fuel for their parents' vehicles and take their girlfriends and boyfriends out. So,
which by all means is part of adulting.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So how would you advise them to manage their finances? We've talked before earlier with a specialist here and experts that really wanted us to know the value of maybe budgeting. So how do you manage finances? How can you advise a young adult out there listening to you? This is how I need to manage myself so that I don't get into loans and debts and yeah.
One thing that is very important that most young people don't do right now is budgeting, because whenever you get to budget for your finances, it becomes easy for you to go about spending, because you won't be caught up in situations whereby you get to enter a mall or any place with attractive stuff and then you just say, I want to buy this. The decisions are not going to come up that way, because then if you're staying alone, you'll have to budget for your rent, you'll have to budget for your electricity bills, you'll have to budget for the food that you're going to consume over this period of time. So when you budget, it becomes easy to manage your bills. But then when you fail to do that, it becomes overwhelming, and that's where you find most people, the payday is like 1st of, let me say 28th of February. By 10th of March, they already broke because they got to manage their finances not so good in a way because it was not budgeted for.
Now, I would want to know, perhaps with you, Arnold Feather, what is the minimum required amount of money as balance that as a young adult, you are broke?
If I had money, I would say maybe $500,000, but with my current situation, let me just put it this way. The level of brokenness actually depends on one individual, because different people have got to get to have different amounts of money. And so the amount that I probably would term as myself being broke is not that which you'd term. But if I can precisely put it, I'd say being broke is when you're unable to sustain your normal bills, because you find that some people get to spend so much. Your payday is on 28th of February, but by 10th of March, you have nothing. You go into the Fuliza, you go into the newly created Hustlers Fund that doesn't even give you much. Yeah. So being broke is when you're unable to sustain your bills, and this is not really a situation in which you might want to get into, because it gets to disorient you, your level of train of thoughts, and how you basically generally conduct yourself becomes totally different, because you're unable to think straight, because there are certain things that you can't meet in life.
And as you're doing all this, do your parents still consider you as someone dependent in their household? Do you depend on them? Do they know that, yeah, we should support our son financially?
It's been a while since they last supported me. But yes, they do in terms of paying for my school fees, and just when I get to be on my lower end of brokenness, they get to hop in and give me something small to sustain myself. But I don't really depend on that, because in the long run, I try to teach myself to be...
Why did you move out?
Yeah, because the whole essence of moving out is making me able to sustain myself, and that's a decision that I personally made. So by me making that decision meant that I would be in a position to fend for myself rather than depending on them for many other things that I'd want to have in making my life comfortable.
Amazing. One last question, because you have mentioned it before we move to the other part of entertainment. You've said that Hustlers Fund doesn't give you that much. I mean, I don't know. He has used it for him to talk like that. Wanasema you want capital to start a barber shop, wanakupatia pesa ukanyolewe. Have you interacted with the Hustlers Fund to a point where you don't see the value of it?
I didn't say that it has no value, but what I can say is that you can use the money to build yourself, but that is if you use it wisely, because I remember 2 days ago, I met a friend of mine who just acquired the money so that he can go and have lunch and just enjoy some good times with the friends. But that is not really a sane decision to make when you look at what the Hustlers Fund was actually created for, because this is money that is supposed to help you gain some level of profit that you can help you sustain yourself over some period of time, or even grow your business so that you can be independent. But now if you use it for a different kind of a purpose, it becomes shaky. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mr. Arnold Feather. Feather means money.
Pesa kwa wingi.
Pesa kwa wingi.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's what we had for you on the financial literacy part. When we come back, this amazing instrumentalist is going to rock your ears like never before. Stay tuned. Thank you so so much for being with us. The show had to end, but before we finish, one last thing, you will have to just massage your ears as you will be soothed by an artist who plays saxophone. Very rare you'll find a young adult doing saxophone, Nakonga was there and everything, but he is also a psychologist. So with that said, follow the conversation on our social, on Twitter and Instagram at Outspoken Tower if you want to see more of this. And Adulting 101 is the place to be. Enjoy.